Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. This is the first episode of 2025. This is the Sports Cave. Your co-host, or my co-host, Zach Rowan. Zachary.
Let's go Buckeyes, baby. Let's go Buckeyes, baby. Fuck you, John Plouffe, and your fucking Oregon Ducks. You can suck the skin off my cock, Oregon Ducks. Fuck the Oregon Ducks. Let's go Buckeyes.
Wow.
Sorry, I lost my cool there at the beginning. Plouffe, I blacked out.
You're coming in hot.
And also,
yes,
as our buddy Car Lover's here right now, I should point this out. The guy who is leading the World Juniors right now in goals is a Latvian, Robert. I can honestly say I've never in my life seen that before. So,
you know, when Latvia started getting all its success is when Car Lover started listening to the
Car Lover started joining. You
Car
got that
Lover,
right.
Reason for Latvia's success in the World Juniors. Congratulations, Car Lover, and welcome, my friend. Welcome, Matty D. How you doing? And then, of course, our number one fan, my father.
Guys, happy fucking New Year, everybody. Welcome back, obviously, New Year, same Zach, still can't talk.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. 2025. I think it's going to be the year of the Sports Cave, folks.
What was your New Year's Eve looking like, Zachary? How'd you celebrate?
Well, so as we heard last episode here, I got tickets to the Team Canada, Team USA World Juniors game.
Correct, Car Lover. You are single-handedly responsible for Latvia's success, correct?
We got I went to the Canada USA game, right? I got free tickets there, and I ended up getting hooked up. I got free food, free beer. I got absolutely shit-faced. These three cocksuckers, you know, they tried to test your boy over here, but we're not even going to get into that here on the show.
Fans are curious. They want to hear it.
Well, I'm not really going to get into it because I don't really want to speak too much on it anymore. But basically, these guys tried to they were getting mad at me because I was standing up at the game. I said, hey, you fucking geriatric fucks. If you don't want someone standing up in front of you, maybe spend a little bit more money and go next to the glass. And then the guy started chirping at my girlfriend. And at that point, it was like, okay, buddy, it's Battle Royale. But in the end, folks, I was there. I was representing some of my girlfriend's friends, company that they work for. So I kind of had a bit of a mental clarity point saying, well, if I start to punch this guy out here, number one, it's like my second or third time meeting her friends. So I feel like that's really not a great start, you know, if I'm just punching people out at a hockey game, third time meeting them. But what they said, Robbie, which I'm not going to repeat what they said, it was warranted that I should have punched them out. Steve, first, Robbie, sound the alarm because we have the first subscription of 2025.
Greatest fans in the world.
I'm not prepared.
There's no alarms. I put you on the spot there.
I'll do this alarm because it's the first one right here. How's that?
I mean, that was pretty fucking spot on. Steve, we're going to remember that one, sir.
Yeah, Steve's the first set of subscription in the year 2025.
But
fellas.
Just to continue going on there, Robbie, I will say this. So the game, great seats. The game did not go in Canada's favor. Your Team USA took us down by a pretty deciding score, actually, of 4-1. Mm-hmm. However, and Robbie, I'm not one to complain about refereeing because I will say this.
You are.
Some of the way that Canada was playing that game was like they were doing stupid shit. Like, for instance, your goalie drops a stick, and we have a guy in our team come by and fucking just slash a stick out of the way so he can't pick it up. That's a penalty 10 out of 10 times. You just can't do that. Like, that's a fucking idiotic thing to do. You guys end up getting 4 power play goals in a 4-1 game. I believe the power plays were like 8 or 9 in favor of you guys, and we had 1 power play, I believe, on our side. Now, I'm not saying you guys were playing dirty and we were playing dirty and you guys were playing clean, but you guys definitely had a cleaner game than we had. But some of these calls by these referees, and I'm not just saying just in that game, just in general of this entire tournament, have been completely lackluster. And it basically boils down because the double IHF is an absolute pussy hole organization.
Oh my God!
Diving. Tanner, couldn't say it any better myself. Could not say it any better myself. In the end, Robbie, though, you guys do, in fact, beat us in that game. But guess what, motherfucker? We win this quarterfinal. You win your quarterfinal. We'll see you cocksuckers in the semifinals, and we will see who has the last laugh then. And the way that our fucking Team Canada's playing this year, probably going to be you guys because we got a bunch of individuals that just want to play for themselves on this fucking squad. We got an absolute first one of the year. We got a full-on retard as our head coach on Team Canada. Robbie, you had to get that one out of the way. First one of 2025.
God damn it.
Yeah, Robbie, I just wanted to get that out of the way there. We actually kind of started with me telling Carl Lover that there's a Latvian leading the World Juniors. Because how often do you got a Latvian guy coming into a nice Canadian American stream like the one we have here?
One Latvian in our hearts, that's for sure.
Yeah. Robbie, what do you say? Do you want to start off with some football here, folks? Because I mean, I'm fired up about my Buckeyes. I feel like I won at Plouffe pretty hard there at the beginning.
And it's well warranted because if the other way around, Plouffe be talking major shit. Just like he was talking shit beforehand. And you know what?
Plouffe.
I don't know if Plouffe is here listening or not, but Plouffe is the type of guy where that when he wins, he will shit talk till the end of earth. But when something happens to his team and it's your team taking him down, he takes the humbled way out. Fuck that. As someone who's been
Plus, dude, I was praying for a Buckeyes win yesterday because if USA would have beaten Team Canada and then literally the next day right after Plouffe's fucking college team beats my college team and knocks out, I don't think I would have fucking heard the absolute end of it. But Robbie, in the end, it wasn't even a win for Ohio State. They bent Oregon over and gave them a 9-inch BBC raw right down their asshole.
Yeah.
34-0 at one point in the game. I mean, it was over before it even started, Robert. I think Ohio State punted the ball one time in the first half. It was fucking pure dominance, offensive dominance, defensive dominance. Dylan Gabriel looked like a bag of dicks for half the game. Oh, Matty D, if you bet against Ohio State like Steve, you guys deserve to have your parlay cooked.
You're a piece of shit because it was my decision.
Well, then you're an idiot. Why would you lead your friends astray like that, Robbie?
I'm a fucking idiot. Your team has only been shut the fuck up.
And guess what happened, motherfucker?
Shut the fuck up.
Stupid
your team
fucking
has only
idiot.
been a top 5 ranked opponent twice under Ryan Day. And I'm almost
now, bitch.
certain that the only team you beat was Penn State, who was also ass against top 5 ranked opponents.
Well, what about Oregon, the number 1 team in the country that was undefeated going up into this game?
You got him. Congratulations. But the numbers were stacked against you, and they you know what? Give Ryan Day all the
new
credit.
Team. I don't think you give Ryan Day credit. I think you give Will Howard some credit. He actually had a fucking great game.
Ryan Day gets all the credit because heading into this college football playoff, everyone was out there, including myself and even you, said that this guy needs to go outside unless he wins a national championship. And we said it ourselves last week or on Tuesday or Monday. The winner, if the winner of that game between Oregon and Ohio State has probably the best chance of winning the national championship. And right now, the numbers are in Ohio State's favor, in my opinion.
Especially from what I saw from Tech. We'll just get it here. So Ohio State, big victory against Oregon. We move on to face Texas, who had a absolute nail biter against Arizona State going into the fourth quarter, 24-8, where Arizona State just started going off. Couple touchdowns, couple 2-point conversions, and all of a sudden this is a 24-24 game, and we're heading into overtime. This running back on Arizona State, Scadaboo, I think his name was Scadaboo, little white guy. He reminds me of like a trailer trash Christian McCaffrey, almost what he looks like. This guy was a weapon. All they kept saying was this guy's so injured. He's so injured. Robbie, the man was throwing touchdowns, he was catching touchdowns, and he was rushing touchdowns. Yeah. And he's a little firecracker. And in the end, it would have been a great underdog story to see Arizona State win that one. And to be honest with you, as a Buckeyes fan, I was really rooting for Arizona State because obviously that would have been a way easier opponent for us in the next round. But in the end, Arizona State, Texas caps off the first overtime score. Sorry, Arizona State caps off the first overtime score. Then Texas goes in and scores. And I didn't know this about college football, Robbie, but they go back-to-back like that in double overtime. So, like, say if Texas had the last offensive possession, they get the first offensive possession in the second.
Yeah.
Was unaware of that, so they go back, score back-to-back. And unfortunately for that, it was the ship had sailed for Arizona State after that one, Robbie. But Texas, Ohio State facing off now in the semifinals. And then on the opposite end of that, you have Georgia Notre Dame going down right now, 20-3 for Notre Dame in the third. And this game didn't happen yesterday because yet another piece of shit terrorist attack, another piece of shit human being causing more lives to be taken on a fun New Year's Eve festivities. I believe it was in New Orleans, Robert. So we're not even going to get in that because we're not a political podcast, but
there's been a couple incidents. There's been that one. There's the guy blowing up a Tesla Cybertruck in front of Trump Tower in Vegas, and I think it just saw us on in California where there's a plane that flew into a building, I believe in Bakersfield, California. It's very sad, Zach. It's something that we know we don't need to go into further detail. It's just fucking disappointing that there's a bunch of all these terrorist attacks right now in this country, and
yeah, this place is fucked. I mean, my country, we don't have terrorist attacks, I guess, but we're just a bunch of pussies over here.
Livvy Dunn and Paul Skeens were celebrating in New Orleans on Bourbon Street, and they left ahead of the guy driving the truck through the crowd there on Bourbon Street. So prayers to New Orleans and the families, prayers to anyone affected in Vegas outside the suicide bomber, and prayers out to California for what just recently happened 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, pretty fucked up. And then, I mean, it's kind of just tough just to go right back into football after that, but here we go. Notre Dame up 20-3, and then you already have Penn State who punched their ticket in after a pretty dominant victory over Boise State. Robbie, I'm seeing what your dad's writing here in the thing, and he's honestly could not be any more right. Like this kind of has been a bit of a fail, this first college football playoff, just due to the seeding.
But you got to give it time.
It's 1 year.
Let's be grateful that we're seeing opportunities like this, because we'd be sitting here talking about how who was the number 5? Ohio State would have been left out. And they beat Oregon. This is what it's supposed to be about.
Well, no, but Ohio State wouldn't have been left out because Boise State and Arizona State wouldn't have been top 4 teams.
I understand, but Ohio State was number 5 or number 6.
Yeah, in that case it probably would. Yeah, I'm not too sure who would have cracked that top one, but I think Bob's right. They got extended to 16 teams. Don't get the first bye.
This trial, this is a trial effort until they really, figure out the right way of doing things. So be grateful that they start off at 12. Like, this is all a new learning, and it had to happen like this because a lot of these bowl games that used to mean something, if you didn't make it to the national championship game, that had dignity and honor, meant nothing anymore. So it's very important that we just
Marky, Happy New Year, brother.
Yes, Happy New Year, Mark. Yes.
And I'll see you later, pal.
Now, Zach, I wanted to play this video for you because ESPN's Dan Orlowski had some high praise for Ohio State's wide receiver.
Oh, Jeremiah Smith?
Yes.
It's incredible, dude.
He's not going to be eligible for the NFL draft not only this year, but next year either. But if he were coming
and it does this bullshit all the time.
Out this year, where would he go?
Number 1 pick. Wouldn't even be close. He would easily be the number 1 pick in this year's draft. You will have teams in 2 years for that 27 draft tanking for him.
For a wide receiver.
Draft, absolutely. He's that good. He's that talented. He is Julio Jones. His hips look like they're in their armpits. His armpits. I mean, he looks 6'5" just from his hips down. I mean, he reminds me of Julio Jones. His physical frame reminds me a little bit of Calvin Johnson's. He would be easily the number 1 pick in this year's NFL draft. Okay. Easily.
So
now, Zach, if the Giants still had the number 1 pick, do you think Dan Orlowski would be talking like that?
Probably not, because Malik Neighbor, it's also I think he's kind of just trying to make a clip there as well. Like, I don't think he necessarily believes that would be the first overall pick easily.
Well, with the Patriots, he definitely would be the first overall pick. Absolutely. 100% he would be, because the Patriots need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like the Giants or the Raiders, who are desperate need for a quarterback, there's no chance he's the number 1 pick. But, I mean, the performance that he put on was fucking spectacular.
Dude.
I mean,
he's been like that all year.
Did you guys bring in Jerry Rice? I mean, this guy was playing at a Hall of Fame type level as a freshman.
Yeah.
There were no answers for him. He was in between all the zone coverage. They couldn't tackle him. He was amazing.
It was honestly, I've used this word, but it was poetic to watch yesterday. I mean, that kid is going to be a future stud. And just to think that I got him for 2 more years, I mean, that's just music to my ears. I mean, if he stays, you got to assume or hope he's going to stick around. Just think about this, Robbie. He's doing this with fucking Will Howard as a quarterback. And give him an actual good college quarterback, for fuck's sakes, Ohio. Please, for the love of God. Can we get a top 5 recruiting quarterback here?
Imagine him with C.J. Stroud.
Or like even like this year. Imagine him with I guess it's really not like a standout.
I'm talking Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah. Well, besides C.J. Stroud, it's been fucking
Justin Fields.
Yeah. Dwayne Haskins, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great game for me to watch there yesterday, Robert.
Yeah, congratulations on your Buckeyes as they advance the next round. We went over the Texas game, went over Penn State, and right now we got Notre Dame up 20-3 against Georgia. Georgia, obviously, without Carson Beck, who's out for the rest of the season with elbow surgery. Now, Zachary, so we have Penn State most likely versus Notre Dame if it continues to go on to this point, happening next Thursday at 7:30. Next Friday, Ohio State and Texas. Quinn Ewers against his former college team.
I didn't even know Quinn Ewers is a part of Ohio State.
I found that on Twitter today.
Wow. So Ohio State, so you're telling me that Ohio State is just solid at getting sick quarterbacks, not having them play for our school for one snap, and then going off and being unreal quarterbacks in other schools.
Yeah, Kyle McCord, Quinn Ewers. Yep.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Yep. Joe Burrow from Cincinnati wanted to play at the Ohio State.
Yeah, that's always going to be a stinger.
And Dad brings up a good point here. Outside of the goodbye, they are playing at AT&T Stadium. Major home field advantage for Texas.
Yeah, don't worry, Bob. From what I saw from Texas, I'm not even fucking worried in the slightest. Ohio State by 15.
Okay. I think you're a little pent up in energy right now. I don't think you're thinking things thoroughly here.
Ohio State by fucking 50. You fucking. Okay. Sorry.
Gets the zoom and is immediately. You'll be in tears next Monday. Well, the game is on the following Monday.
Bob.
And
Jesus Christ.
We're doing our show on Tuesdays again.
Yeah, Bob.
It was the New Year.
Jesus Christ, Bob. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Robbie, that's all I got for NCAA, brother. And obviously, as this game's going on, we will keep you guys posted. Also, the reason why we're starting this game at 6 today, or starting this podcast at 6 today, folks, is because Team Canada plays at 7:30. So I requested from Robbie that we do this one earlier today. This is not going to be a regular 2025 thing. This is a today's episode only.
And future Canada games.
Well, we'll see how we do tonight.
Folks, Zach took care of me when it was time with the Yankees in the World Series. So, I mean, we're a team here, and if there's something that we both really desperately want to watch, then, we're going to take care of each other.
We scratch backs. Bob, let's be nicer in 2025, Bob.
Zachary, you see this?
Water.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 is here. Day one of the weight loss journey is underway. We had a good proteined yogurt for breakfast. Lunch was peanut butter and crackers, which is very disappointing.
And I'm having a beer.
But a nice protein bowl for dinner, Zachary. We had some barbecue chicken. What else was in it? We had some lettuce, corn, onions, a lot of good salady things.
Oh, nice.
God bless.
Sausages.
Grilled chicken.
Well, I mean, Robbie, that's what you got to do if you want to drop the poons, right? You got to.
I want to be able to see my dick again.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, Zachary. You know what?
Let's go through some motherfucking scores, Robbie. Let's do our last. Sorry, I'm gonna shut up while you play some songs. Fucking sue us, you bitch. I fucking dare you to sue us.
It feels nice to be hydrated after some of that water, but
Oh, Matty D said we read over his comment. Oh,
do you think Arizona State is the best running back in college football?
no, that was Mr. Ashton Genty.
Yeah, Genty by far.
This guy's got 1,000 more yards than the second place guy.
Yeah, and even that game against Boise State, I mean, he was breaking through tackles with 7 defenders.
Yeah.
All attention was on him.
I will say, though, I fucking like that guy on Arizona State, the Scattaboo. I like that kid. And that guy left it on the field there, Robert. But, Robert, it is, in fact, man, we are at NFL Week 18, which just seems absolutely ridiculous to say because it seems like yesterday, excuse me, that we had just started.
Are we going to do our picks? Because this is fucking ass.
Dude, honestly, I mean, we can just, yeah. Like, I have no idea who to fucking pick here.
Honestly, I think from this point forward till week 17, because this week 18,
Yeah, is bullshit.
all these fucking different quarterbacks is retarded.
So you know what, Robbie? How about we just instead of doing our point picks, we'll just go through and we'll just say who's going to win these games. All right?
I'm down with that.
And I can go through the spreads, dude, because some of these are hilarious. Yeah.
I have to get some congratulations out to the top 3 placements in the Sports K Fantasy Football League. In third place, we had the combination of my cousins, Matt and Travis, taking me down and beating me by 2 points for third place. Congratulations. I thought about starting Adam Thielen and sitting Cortland Sutton, Zach. I didn't do it, and I paid the price because I would have won. That is my own mistake. I'm not making excuses. Their team performed, and mine did not. Congratulations. In second place in the battle of the championship, we had Deontay Butler, third year in the league. He has won the league. He has missed out on the top 3, and then he has come in second place. Congratulations, Deontay. And coming in first place, Joey Fernandez's friend, Mr. Dan Smith, back-to-back year, Zachary, as the Sports Cave champion, and he brings in a pot of $1,500.
Goddamn nice pot.
Now, here's the thing with Dan Smith, because right now, I fucking hate you, Dan. I'll tell you why, Zach.
Oh, no.
Knocked me out in my league to make me compete for third place. In Joey's league.
Oh!
What happened?
Sorry, this guy just got there's an 80-yard bomb from the guy on Georgia, and this fucking Bell guy just let it slap right out the middle of his tits, right back onto the floor. That could not be a more perfect throw.
Now, Dan, I'm sorry that Zach interrupted you over.
Sorry, Dan.
He knocked me out in my league, so I had to compete for third place. I faced him in the championship game for Joey's league.
Jesus.
I came in second. He came in first. Zachary, he won $750. That means that Dan netted $2,250 his fantasy football season.
Dude, Dan just pulled a fucking rinse job on you guys. And then the guy, so the guy can't make a catch, his life depend on it. Then that guy makes one of the hardest catches I've seen in my days. And this Georgia team is blowing me away here, Robert, but it's not looking good for them whatsoever. But Dan, whoever the fuck you are, congratulations, pal.
You son of a bitch.
By the way, Robert, we are one off your goal for the day, or our goal for the day.
No, we got it.
So you know.
We had it for like 15 seconds.
Well, there you go. I said we were going to get, you said 15 viewers. I said no problemo.
No, let's get 30 listeners for the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We're going up from here, baby.
Why don't we start off with this here, Robert? Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are coming in at a very small favorite here, Robert. They're minus 19.5-point favorites. Yep, little tight spread there in Baltimore, 19.5-point favorites.
You brought up that we needed the amount of viewers. They heard us. Now we're down to 10.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Good job. They're like, oh, we did what we need to do.
Yeah,
Back
thanks,
to our
guys.
life.
I still see 14 on mine.
I see 10.
But, Robbie, we got Bailey Zappi. This is just a back-to-back year now where Cleveland likes to start 14 quarterbacks in a 17-game season. So we're now at, I believe, quarterback, 5 this year, if my math is correct. 4 for sure. You got Watson,
yep,
DTR, Winston, and now Bailey Zapp. Yep, so that's 4 on our 4 starting quarterback. And why not just throw Zappi in there for week 18, you know? Why not just toss him in the fire?
Because I've experienced that Bailey Zappi can ruin your plans and win you a game.
I will be so fucking furious because right now we're sitting at 3rd overall, and if I go through the 2 teams ahead of us, which are you guys at 1st overall and Tennessee at 2nd overall, you guys are looking at the Buffalo Bills B team today, or tomorrow, or Sunday rather.
And then team with Mitch Trubisky, he's going to be starting quarterback most likely.
And then who the fuck does Tennessee have here? Where's Tennessee? Oh, Tennessee has the Texans, who's also going to be sitting everybody. So I'm assuming. Fuck, you guys actually both have a chance of possibly winning tomorrow. Or Sunday. What do I keep saying tomorrow?
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't know.
In fairness to you, yesterday I'm thinking to myself after they announced the postponement of the Sugar Bowl, I'm like, my God, we all wait until Thursday to watch this game. And then they talked about today this morning on the sports radio show I was listening to. I was like, oh, shit, today's Thursday. Oh, the game's happening today. Thinking that yesterday was like Monday.
We have a touchdown, Georgia, Robert. 20-10 now, or 29. I mean, I can't assume this guy's going to make the kick because kicking has been one of the hardest things I've seen in my life this year for these guys.
I think I can make it. I think I could kick a PAT in college range.
You could fucking do it. This looks like it's a chip shot. Gavin, right down the wickets, Robbie. 20-10. I'm just going to say that the Baltimore Ravens are going to kill us, Robbie.
So you're not taking the Ravens. Well, you are taking the Ravens minus 19.5.
Sure. If I was taking a spread, I probably honestly would take the Ravens minus 19.5.
I'm taking the Browns plus 19.5, losing.
Okay, there we go. Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, Robbie. Cincinnati Bengals on the road, I should point out here, are a minus 1.5 point favorite, needing a win to keep their small playoff hopes alive. Sitting at a 17% chance right now, needing a Denver Broncos loss to a B team Kansas City Chiefs, and needing a Miami Dolphins loss to a, even when they start their starters, a B team New York Jets. I mean, they need a lot of work here, Robbie. I think that they're going to get the job done on their side of the field, and I think they are going to get this victory against the Steelers, because to me, the Steelers have looked like a pretty rough team now these last 5 weeks or so. They have really, really kind of been brought back to reality, whereas the Bengals have kind of been the complete opposite. They have been, at least offensively, on fire.
Defensively, they've been on fire, too. They've been very good defensively last couple of weeks.
I think it just sucks that it's too little too late. I mean, imagine they don't lose to the fucking Patriots week 1. It is too little too late, Robbie. I think it's unfortunately going to be.
They still have a chance.
They do, 17%, but I mean, it's going to be tough for the Broncos to lose to the Chiefs when you have Carson Wentz and starting, which means probably no offensive line starting. Probably no Kelsey, probably no, maybe Hollywood Brown, just because he only has limited snaps this season. Maybe they want to get him a few more reps in there. I could see him playing, but it's going to be the depleted lineup for Kansas City, and then, I mean, the Jets are the Jets when it comes down to the Dolphins. So that is a divisional match, though. So
but, you know, that's Huntley is going to be starting for the Dolphins, right?
Is that better?
I mean, it's not Tua starting.
I know. I feel like that. I mean, I guess Tua's
Tyreek Hill is questionable, and there's a good chance that Tyreek Hill might be out.
I mean, you know what? I would like to see the Bengals in there, and then
it could be Aaron Rodgers' last game too in the NFL.
Let's hope it is. I'm done watching this fucking old bastard whip this pigskin. I want to see him do more psychedelics on Netflix. But Robert, I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Minutes of the first episode, and it's fucking trippy as fuck. He uses a lot of big words I don't understand.
I can't watch that shit right now. I'm watching Squid Game 2.
I was never big with Squid Games.
Oh, shit. I'm taking the Bengals minus 1.5, Robert.
Yeah, I am too. I think the Bengals are going to do whatever they can to stay alive. It's worth knowing that Chase Brown is also questionable as T. Higgins. I could see T. Higgins soon, but I don't know about Chase Brown because that ankle injury looked pretty gnarly. The Steelers, like you said, they got brought back to reality, dude. The offense isn't clicking. The defense, it looks kind of flustered. It's typical Steelers where when it comes down to the end of the season, it looks like it all starts to fall apart. And then once you get to the playoffs, it's done.
Goodbye.
And by the way, it's not Mike Tomlin's fault. I mean, they just can't find the fucking quarterback that they need post Big Ben. They tried Mitch Trubisky. They tried Kenny Pickett. They tried Fields. Now they're trying Russell Wilson. And now there's talks about them going after Kyler Murray if he's available from Arizona. I mean, they're searching and searching and searching to find that replacement.
That's another thing, too, we have to discuss, Robbie. I meant to bring it up when we were talking about my Browns. Was this video you sent me the other day? What is this Kirk Cousins bullshit here that I'm hearing about?
Let me see if I have the video still. Oh, so former general manager for the New York Jets, Mike Tannenbaum, had an interesting take on First Take, Zachary.
Kirk Cousins will lead the Browns to the AFC North division title. And to me, this one's really easy because you reunite with Kevin Stefanski. They need a quarterback. They have a really good defense. And if Kirk Cousins plays B or better, they win the division.
What? Like he was going to join and be what? Maybe the third best quarterback in that division. He couldn't finish this with the Falcons. Like, what are we talking about? Kirk Cousins? Like, what do the Browns need more than one expensive quarterback that they can't play? Is another expensive quarterback that they can't play? Like, what are we talking about?
Hey, to my point, I said the Browns was going to have Kirk Cousins. I didn't say he was going to win the division. I just said they need to add another guy that can go out there and compete with Deshaun Watson. I ain't say he was going to go win the division that might. You was on your own with that one.
Now, how the hell would they be able to bring Kirk Cousins, who's making similar money to Deshaun Watson?
Well, I mean, if he gets cut, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, they're not going to trade for trade.
No, but if didn't he get cut, Kirk Cousins? Like, is he now a free agent?
No, there are plans on them cutting him in March if they can't find a tradable suitor.
Okay, so if he gets cut, then we just sign him. It's exactly what happened with Russell Wilson last year. He gets cut, and they sign him for a fucking league minimum. He gets all of his money from Atlanta. Here's the thing, though. Does that change anything? No.
It doesn't make you
That
win.
literally-
You got Lamar and Joe Burrow in there.
No. That we just became maybe a 5-win team, 6-win team next year, or maybe a 9-8 team at best.
No, you guys would be a lot better with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, the Atlanta Falcons are a mess. The second that they hired Raheem Morris as their head coach is where they fucked up. They have a fantastic roster on paper, but Raheem Morris, a first-time head coach with that's a lot of pressure. They should have brought in Belichick, like I said, way before then, and it bit them in the ass. Atlanta would have been a 12-win team with Bill Belichick at the helm, easily.
Well, Robbie, I mean, if we're talking about Atlanta, why don't we get into them right now? Because they need a win. Uh-oh. Joe. I like that guy. Buckeyes by $1 billion, baby. That's what the fuck I like to hear right there, Joe. You know what that guy's nickname is, Robbie? We call him Horsecock Joe around these streets.
What, have you seen his cock? It's like a horse cock.
He's got a big penis on him, Joe.
Wow. Joe, congratulations as white man.
White man, yep.
He's one of the few.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I know. He's a rarity.
You are a rarity. You are a special breed. Congratulations.
Coke can cock, you know what I mean?
I'm jealous. Why are we talking about cocks?
Carolina Panthers coming into Atlanta to play the Falcons. Falcons right now, -7.5-point favorites. Robert, they need this victory to keep their playoff chances alive. I hope to God they don't make the playoffs over the Bucks, but it is possible. But Robbie, I'm going to say the fucking Carolina Panthers are here to play spoiler. I'm taking the Panthers in this one, Robbie. I'm taking them money line. Not even +7.5. I'm taking the money line to play spoiler because this Atlanta Falcons team, you have no fucking clue what you're going to see with them week in, week out. It's honestly, you don't have a damn clue.
That's a nice hot take. Zachary, our regular alarm's all the way at the bottom of the screen here. I think I'm going to stick with this one today.
I like that one.
I like it better too. Now, Zachary, where's this game for the Atlanta Panthers?
It's in Atlanta.
And what's the weather looking like?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. It's in a dome.
Yeah! It's about time, Zach. Well done. It is in a fucking dome.
It's in a dome, cuh.
Bijan Robinson over 140 total scrimmage yards, Joe says.
I mean, I could see it happening because they're going to be feeding Bijan the motherfucking rock.
Yeah. Can the Panthers play spoiler here? They absolutely can, but I mean, Bryce Young has looked better than both either Kirk or Penix as of recently. Adam Thielen has been fucking balling out. Zach, I'm going to join you. I'm not going to let you sit
Yeah.
there. Panthers too.
Let's fucking go.
I'll hop on that train.
All right, Robbie, this next game here, like this is another one that I don't really know how to call because the Commanders have punched their spot into a playoff position. They're heading into Jerry World to play the Cowboys in Dallas. Commanders are a -6.5-point favorite in this one here. But to me, it's like, is Jaden Daniels going to be playing? Like, do these guys start their starters?
I don't know. It'd probably be Marcus Mariota, no?
I would assume so. But you know what, Robbie? The Cowboys are so fucking pathetic. I don't care who they play on Commander's side. I'm going to take the Commanders to win this game because the Cowboys are pathetic. Let's go, Commanders.
Head coach Mike McCarthy declined to say he'll be starting Sunday against the Washington Commanders. So if it isn't Cooper Rush, then maybe it's Trey Lance or...
Get Trey Lance in there.
Yeah, he might as well. I'm trying to see if there's anything about the Washington Commanders and what they're going to do. Quarterback James Daniels and Terry McLaurin have been named to the 2025 Pro Bowl. There's a lot of things out there for the Pro Bowl, but I'll say that a lot of it's also bullshit too. Some of the people that got selected and some who didn't.
The Pro Bowl is the biggest sham in fucking sports, dude.
It's the worst out of the four major sports by far.
The biggest sham.
There's nothing fun about even like those stupid like those little side competitions they have. They don't entertain me neither.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm seeing right now, according to the score app, it's going to be Jaden Daniels versus Cooper Rush, which I don't see happening. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. And like I said, Robbie, I'm going to take the Commanders to win this one.
I'm just trying to get one last look to see if there is anything. Oh my God, there's nothing because I see Taylor Heineke will start a quarterback. It's fucking thing all over 2021. All right. Yeah, if it's Mariota versus Cooper Rush or Mariota versus Trey Lance or whatever, I'm taking the Commanders as well. The Cowboys, they released Ezekiel Elliott. There's a lot of rumors that he's going to be going to Detroit, which honestly, Zach, would be a great fit for him in the goal line. Take
over from Montgomery.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great sign because he gets those couple. He doesn't have the explosiveness that he once has, but he could get those couple yards needed. Whether
dude, the guy is still a fucking tank. You know what I mean? Like he can drop his shoulder.
He used to have speed behind it. Now he's just
Now he's more like a fat tank, but he can still drop a shoulder. He's like a Kareem Hunt now, but I mean Kareem Hunt's definitely better, but
more agile.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Commanders. We're gonna go with the commies.
Commies. Okay, Robbie. Next game here. This one could be a bit of a boring one, Robert. The Chicago Bears plus 10.5 point underdogs heading into Lambeau Field to play the Green Bay Packers.
Go Pack, go! Go Pack, go! Go Pack, go!
That's for our friend Ryan, who's not in here right now, but we still love you, Meatloaf. Go Pack, go.
Keep it rolling too, Robbie, because it's the motherfucking Packers minus 10.5 on this side of the damn podcast over here.
Yeah, I think the Packers are going to butt fuck the Bears like they always do.
Yeah, no spit, no lube, sand, paper, finish.
Jordan Love's going to stick his light skin cock all the way up their assholes.
Jesus Christ.
It's going to make Caleb paint his nails a different color after the loss.
Also, Robbie, I don't know if you heard that the stat they were talking about, a part of my take about Joe Burrow. If he gets 3 more passing touchdowns and gets to 45 with over, I think it's like 4,200 throwing yards or something. I think it's every other quarterback that has done that has won an MVP.
And he won't.
He's not. I mean, it's going to be. It's almost like if he does get there, you should fucking just give it to him. You know,
if they make the playoffs, I feel like you have to, dude.
If they make the playoffs, he's an MVP for sure. But
I just best quarterback in football with the worst defense ever, and the defense has finally stepped up the last 2 or 3 weeks. But look at the competition that they've also faced outside of Bo Nix, who turned around in the fourth quarter against the Bengals.
Yeah,
I mean, let me see. The Browns, 24-6. They barely beat. I'm not gonna say barely beat, but they gave up 27 points to the fucking Tennessee Titans. They gave up 20 points to the fucking Cowboys.
The defense has been horrible, but I mean, the fact that they even have a winning record.
Steelers, do you know how many points the Steelers got, Zach?
I'm not too sure.
44.
Jesus Christ.
And you know how many points the Bengals had?
30. They were right there. Was that 42?
38.
Yeah, okay. Fuck.
Like their only bad game this year really was the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've had a few though, and I also think that I think I was reading something that Joe Burrow hasn't beaten, besides Deshaun Watson this season, like a true starting quarterback.
Yeah, they were naming them all off. Yes.
So,
although they should be in the Chiefs, a bullshit fucking PI call to give the Chiefs the victory.
But Robbie, we got the next game here on this list. This one's kind of a big one for me, and I'm hoping the Titans can find a way to beat this B version of the Houston Texans. All the starters probably will be getting sat, getting some rest, getting ready and prepped for the playoffs. Tennessee Titans at home hosting the Texans are a minus 1.5 point favorite. Robbie, very rare that you see the Titans be a favorite. And Robbie, I'm just going to say, just for my own well-being, I'm going to pick the Titans to win this one because I would like to have. We got a top 3 pick right now, regardless, but I would like to have a top 2, even maybe the number 1 cream of the crop pick. Robert.
Yeah, you're not getting that.
We'll wait and see.
I'm just checking to see if there's yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything about what they're gonna do with their starters or not. Zachary, I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans over the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are a fucking mess. Like, I don't care if it's fucking Davis Mills and company. The Texans are so shit, or the Titans are so shit, dude. They are so shit.
They are so shit, but Robbie, we just gotta hope, you know. We can believe over here. We can pray.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think my team's gonna win.
I don't care because you guys aren't going. I feel like you guys aren't even going to have the first overall pick. Like, you guys are going to maybe end the season with it, but I don't think you're entering the draft with it. And I don't think you think you're entering the draft with it either.
No, we're gonna trade it.
Yeah. So
I saw a thing where it was like, would you do this trade? And it was like the Patriots or the Giants get the number 1 pick. We get the Giants' first and second round pick this year, first pick next year, 5th round pick, and then the last one. You ready for this? Brian Burns. Send it. Send it. I'll fucking take that. You kidding me? Are you
go from
Brian
fucking
Burns?
1st overall to 4th overall in this draft, which I mean, realistically, for what you guys are looking for, not even a drop at all. You're the guy's whatever offensive lineman you're gonna want is still gonna be there at fucking 4th overall.
Yeah, if Travis Hunter ain't there, because they're probably going to take Travis Hunter, but
Yeah, if he's there at 4th overall, I feel like you almost have to take him there.
I don't want him.
Well, I mean, but think about this though, Robbie. You have him and Gonzalez as your number 1 and 2 shutdown cornerbacks for the next 5 to 6 years, or however long it's gonna be. I mean, that'd be pretty fucking lethal for anyone trying to pass the ball against your
You
team.
need offense.
Well, Robbie, let's keep this motherfucker rolling here. And just another snooze fest of a game here. The Jacksonville Jaguars heading into Indianapolis to play the Colts. Colts coming off a horrible loss last week. Who the fuck did they lose to, Robbie? Why am I drawing a blank on this? To the Giants.
Parlay
Oopsies.
would have had $1,000.
Yeah, fuck the Giants, right, Robert?
The line's covered. Yeah, fuck the Giants.
Well, the
I
Colts
guess I
are.
gotta play this because you know how many times I fucked you with this fucking annoying clip? I guess it's my turn.
Yeah,
Hail the New York Giants.
I knew that was going to come back. I knew that was going to come back to bite you in the tush. Indianapolis Colts are minus 4.5 point favorites, Robbie, and I'm just going to say they'll probably end up winning this game, but who gives a shit? This is going to be the game that means absolutely nothing, and this game's going to be a snooze fest.
Yeah. The Jags. And do you hear Anthony Richardson too? Do you hear Anthony Richardson? Oh, I couldn't even stand up. I was crawling to get to everywhere. Dude, if your back is that fucked up,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even be playing. You wouldn't even be consideration for. Say what you want about Ben Simmons, Zach. Ben Simmons didn't play. Ben Simmons got 2 back surgeries. Now Ben Simmons is actively playing after all these back surgeries. All right, he might be missing on back-to-backs, but he's playing. I don't like if it's that serious. Shut him down. Shut him down the year next, and figure out this whole back surgery process. Like no one wants to hear the excuses. No one wants to hear the bullshit. Meanwhile, you had an offensive tackle. I forget which team it was. Talking about, I just played on a broken fibula. You know what I mean? It's like there's levels to this, man. Like you gotta be. And a couple weeks ago, where Anthony Richardson was, sub me out. I'm tired. That's inexcusable. Inexcusable.
Yeah, and you almost got to feel bad for Colts fans, Rob, because it's just like, they go from Peyton Manning.
I told you I don't, because it's karma for what they did to Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck retired.
Yeah, and now they're going to be in the quarterback curse for years and years to come. Who do you got in this in the Robbie? Did you say who you had?
I think I'm going to go with the Jaguars. I know the Colts are favorite, and I don't care if it's Flacco or if it's Anthony Richardson. I just think the coaching is I think the team is done. I think that the Jags still have the momentum with Mac Jones, Brian Thomas, and Tank Bigsby. I'm going to go with an upset here, and I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
Well, that's a big one there, Robert.
Mac Jones within me,
Now, the next game on the list here, Robert, features your New England Patriots hosting the Buffalo Bills at Gillette Stadium. Patriots at home are a plus 2.5 point favorites here. That spread is
2.5 underdogs.
Sorry, my apologies. Plus 2.5 point underdogs. This spread is very small, folks, because obviously the Buffalo Bills, with locking up the number 2 seed, will be sitting the majority of the starters. And for those reasons, I don't think the Patriots are going to win, because I don't think they're stupid enough to go out there and win with having the first overall pick. But I hope to God that Gerard Mayo just does some dumbass shit and they go out there and they win this game, Robbie. So I'm going to take the Patriots on the plus 2.5 on the money line.
You're a scumbag piece of shit.
Don't. Robert.
Bitch. I've been so excited about losing all year that if we win a game, this might put me on the edge. The reason I want them to lose so bad is because I want more draft picks, and they should be starting Joe Milton, but they're literally going to start every starter. Everyone is starting, And for those reasons, there's going to be no James Cook. There's going to be no Mari Cooper. There's going to be no Khalil Shakir. There's going to be no, like, most of the defense won't be playing for the Bills.
Yeah.
And they fucking only lost by 3 against them last time they played. Motherfucker. Patriots.
Uh-oh.
Patriots will win.
Oh! Patriots will win, thus losing their first overall pick. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
I'm not happy about it either.
Well, Robbie, let's turn that frown upside down because now we can talk about the New
know what
York
else
Shitty
look
Poop
at?
Giants.
You know what else we should be looking at here? The over-unders for all these fucking games, too.
Oh, yeah. You know what, Robbie? Well, I guess we'll start here. I mean, normally when the team features the Buffalo Bills, the over-under definitely is going to start with a 4. Not this time, my friend. It is 37.5 over-under for the Buffalo Bills New England Patriots game.
That might hit on the under.
Yeah, I probably will.
What do you think the over-under is for Cleveland Baltimore?
Well, if they're 9.5-point favorites, I'm going to have to say 43.5.
41.5.
Okay, that's pretty close.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Robbie, next game here, we got the New York Giants going on the road to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are a -3 favorite right now. Over-under sitting at 37.5. This is kind of a weird one because it's like, what do you do if you're the Eagles? Do you play Saquon to get the record?
Saquon's
Try to
sitting.
just... You say what?
Saquon is sitting.
He is sitting?
They're sitting everybody.
As they should. As they fucking should. I saw this video of this 11-year-old kid on Twitter today. Some guy, some Eagles fan was asking him. First of all, the guy was asking a bunch of adults like what they should do. And they're like, fucking play Saquon. Play this man. They go up and they ask this 11-year-old kid, do you think you should play or sit Saquon Barkley this week? He's like, you need to sit Saquon Barkley. He needs to be healthy for the playoffs. And if you play Saquon, you have to play the whole offensive line. And they all need to be healthy for the playoffs too. I was like, this 11-year-old kid is making 1,000 times more sense than any of these fucking drunk asshole adults. I mean, they are Philadelphia Eagles fans. They probably are mentally retarded. But they, you know, it's still at the end of the day, this 11-year-old kid made a lot more sense than the majority of their adult fans, Robert. And I think it's a smart decision. I think you sit him. You got Kenny Pickett, who's actually looked okay last couple weeks. I see someone's getting a phone call over there.
Oh, that's me. It's either Kenny Pickett or it's the other motherfucker that played last week.
Oh, McKee, right? Yeah, McKee. Yep. Regardless, Robbie.
Big Cat was right. He looks like a kind gentleman that you'd absolutely love your daughter to marry.
He's fucking. I love Big Cat.
You know who I don't like? Max.
So I grew to like Max a lot because he's just a very passionate man.
I hate Max.
I like him.
That's gay.
I don't think that's gay. Robbie, next game here on this list here. Like I said, Eagles, Giants. I'm going to take the Eagles, Robbie. I don't care who they're playing. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't care if it's fucking Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock, Tim Boyle. I'm going with the Eagles as well.
All right, Robbie. Next game on this list here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers needing a win to get into the playoffs. A win and they're in, baby. Minus 13.5-point favorites at home against the New Orleans Saints. So we can probably assume. Cox. Sorry, Matty D. Excuse me. We can probably assume that the Buccaneers are, in fact, going to win this game.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Matty D, that's what you want. You want to lose so you get the number 1 pick, you cuck.
Yeah, Matty D, you cuck. Sorry, Matty D. I didn't mean to call you a cuck. You cuck.
I meant it.
But, Robbie, the thing that I would like to say right here, when we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is 4,279.39. That is the number of throwing yards and touchdowns that Mr. Baker Mayfield has this year. Robbie, he is one okay game away from having 4,500 fucking yards in a season and over 40 touchdowns.
Yeah, the Browns could use a quarterback.
Bro, you're damn right we could. And guess what, Robbie? He is obviously going to amass those numbers. He's probably going to throw for 4 to 5 touchdowns against this horrible New Orleans Saints team. I wouldn't even be surprised, Robbie. I wouldn't even be surprised if he throws 6 touchdowns in that next game for 45 touchdowns for the season.
Simmer down.
That's how bad the Saints team is. And you know he is going to be feeding Mike Evans like that fat kid at a pool party.
Mike Evans needs 85 receiving yards for a $3 million bonus.
Yes, massive bonus, and he's going to get it. He's also 5 receptions away, too, from another big bonus as well. I think he needs the 5 receptions as well as the 83 yards to get the $3 million bonus, because it's like I guess it's a combination of the two.
Yeah.
Still, though, he'll for sure get those numbers, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be in the playoffs because they are going to fucking throw a masquerade against this New Orleans Saints team, Robert.
I agree, Zachary. I agree, but you hope that New Orleans at least keeps it close after all the unfortunate events that are happening.
Yeah.
on New Year's Eve. You can only hope, but unfortunately, Baker Mayfield is going to prevail with the victory.
Yeah, I think it's going
I
to
think
be.
the right thing to do because the game's in Tampa, correct?
Yeah.
You need to do a moment of silence.
Well, I think 1,000,000%. I would assume the majority of, if not every one of these games, will have a moment of silence for it.
There was see the increase of security at the fucking Superdome over there in New Orleans State for the Sugar Bowl.
I think you got to at that point, man. You fucking
Yeah,
guys
I
driving
know.
through crowds and shit.
It's like holy fuck. I'm not obviously disputing against it because I think it's the right thing to do. It's just mind-boggling to see.
Just also would like to point out, folks, at the start of the fourth quarter, the score remains the same, 20-10 for Notre Dame over Georgia. Robbie, next game on this
a lot
list here.
different with Carson Beck. A lot
Yeah.
different.
Next game on this list here, Robbie, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. Not exactly the Kansas City Chiefs that we are normally used to seeing. We will be seeing their B version because they will be sitting pretty much everybody. Carson Wentz getting the start here. Denver Broncos needing a win, and I believe they just need a win to get into the playoffs. So they are a win and in. Denver Broncos are a minus 10.5 point favorites at home, Robbie. The over-under sits at 39.5 points. I think with this B team, maybe even C team version that we're going to be seeing from the Kansas City Chiefs, I think with all that is on the line for the Broncos, even though the Broncos have not looked like a very strong football team these last few weeks, this will be a get-right game for them, and it'll be a big confidence booster to get them going into the playoffs on a high note to get destroyed by the Buffalo Bills in the first round. But this will be a Broncos victory to solidify a playoff spot, Robbie, and it will be the final nail in the coffin that was the Cincinnati Bengals season.
We need Joe Burrow in the playoffs. Oh, damn it. We need Joe Burrow in the playoffs. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I hope they win. I fucking hope they win. I fucking hope they fucking win.
One more time. For the love of God, please. We need Joe Burrow in the playoffs. We need Joe Burrow in the playoffs.
But you know what, though, Robbie? We
Wait, hold on,
reference.
hold on. Are you rooting for Joe Burrow to go to the playoffs as a Brown?
Yes, I am.
Are you rooting for the Bengals to win the Super Bowl?
No, God, no. But I would like to have the most competitive playoff that I could see in front of me. And to be honest with you, that's not with the Denver Broncos. That's not with the Miami Dolphins. That is with the Cincinnati Bengals. But Big Cat made a good point in part of my take, Rob. Everyone's talking about, he's like, they don't want to see the Chiefs, don't want to see the Bengals make the playoffs. If the Bengals make the playoffs, they have to beat the fucking Bills. Who would the Chiefs rather see between the Bills and the fucking Bengals? With the defense this year, they'd much rather see the Bengals.
Honestly, I think they much rather see the Bills.
You are out of your mind.
They have Josh Allen's number in the playoffs. And I get that the defense is so bad for Cincinnati.
Terrible.
But guess what? They only lost by 1 off of a bullshit pass interference call. And they only made to the Super Bowl last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was, because of a terrible decision by a defender to hit Mahomes as he was already out of bounds. Joe Burrow is a bigger competition in the playoffs against Patrick Mahomes than Josh Allen is, and that's the truth.
Not this year, I don't think. I don't think this year. In the past years, yes. But maybe Joe Burrow is a bigger threat than Josh Allen, but the Buffalo Bills are a bigger threat than the Cincinnati Bengals, in my opinion.
On paper, absolutely. But I'm just telling you, with everything we've seen between the matchup between Mahomes and Burrow, that is the closest thing to taking down Mahomes is Joe Burrow. It's not Lamar. It's not Josh Allen. It's literally been either Joe Burrow or Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Oh, 23-10. Notre Dame over Georgia. All right, Robbie. You know what, Robbie? I hope that it happens. I hope we get to see Burrow make it in there.
I'd like to see him win the Super Bowl.
What team would I like to see win the Super Bowl?
That's correct.
I would like to see the Detroit Lions, but I just don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. But that would be the team that I'd be rooting for. And then from the AFC side, to be honest with you, I guess just because majority of my buddies are big Buffalo Bills fans, I would probably join that bandwagon. It's the closest team to me. And, I mean, that'd probably be the team I'd be rooting for from the AFC would be Buffalo.
I'm rooting for the North. I'm rooting for the Lions, the Vikings, and the
Go, Pack, go!
Packers number one because of our good friend, the Meatloaf Ryan.
Well, I mean, fucking, hey, Slapshot Regatta, right?
Slapshot Regatta.
Yes.
Okay, next game, Zachary.
Okay, next game here, Robert. Let's start fucking plowing through these cocksuckers. Los Angeles Chargers, minus 4.5-point favorites, heading into Las Vegas to play the Raiders.
Raiders.
Just for shits and giggles, because the Chargers are locked in, right?
Yes.
Well, they're going to be getting shit-faced the night before. I'm going to take the fucking Raiders with AOC, Robbie.
Now, Justin Herbert's numbers aren't crazy good, but the 3 interceptions are fucking beautiful to see. Only 3 interceptions on the year.
Yeah.
3,524 passing yards, 21 touchdowns.
Poor Joe.
Joe, I'm sorry, but you're new to us. Our Meatloaf has been loyal to us since day one, my friend.
I do have to give. I mean, Joe's my absolute blood over here, and is one of my boys. But we do. I can't say fuck the Packers because Ryan has been a nice guy, but Joe's also a massive Seahawks fan, so that's where that would come out to be.
Because
actually, Robbie.
with that,
Sorry, who do you got in this game?
man. Zach, I think I took the Chargers in my pick'em, so I'm going to stick with the Chargers in my pick'em.
Okay, all right. Chargers it is. Robbie, speaking of the Seattle Seahawks, minus 6.5-point favorites are the Seahawks heading into LA SoFi Stadium to play the Los Angeles Rams. Like I said, Seahawks minus 6.5-point favorites. Over under sits at 38.5 points for this one. Robbie, just because my motherfucking dog Joe's in this, I'm going to take his Seahawks, and I'm going to take them by the minus 6.5 because Geno Smith is also in line for a bonus. I can't remember what he needs to get.
Like 188 passing yards.
Yeah. So, and it's for like $300K, but still, it's still going to be a nice little chunk of change. Let's go Seahawks.
Now, unfortunately, the Seahawks are eliminated. Who win, lose, or draw. They had a good year this year. They said 9-7. They either finished 10-7 or 9-8. They had a really good year. I mean, the Vikings 14-2, Commanders 11-5, Green Bay 11-5. The Seahawks had a good year this year. It's just the NFC really competed this year. Everyone is eliminated outside the Buccaneers and the Falcons in the NFC.
Damn.
If the Bucs lose and the Falcons win, the Falcons are in. The Bucs are out.
So that's pretty much the only spot that's left available. And then obviously in the AFC, we know all the stipulations for that. But
yeah,
it's down to the nitty gritty now.
The Broncos currently hold on to the last slot at 9-7. Miami Dolphins wins tiebreaker over Cincinnati based on best win percentage in conference games. Oof. The Miami Dolphins are 6-5. The Bengals are 5-6. Oh, the pain in their hearts.
Well, do you want to get right into that Miami Dolphins game, Robert?
What game were we just talking about?
Well, I picked the Seahawks. I'm not even sure if you picked some Seahawks and Rams.
I'm taking the Seahawks because the Rams are going to sit everybody.
Yeah. All right, Rob, we got the Miami Dolphins here heading into New York to face the Jets at MetLife Stadium. Jets are a plus 1.5-point underdog here, Robbie. Dolphins taking that favorite at a minus 1.5. Over-under sits at 39.5. It's a pretty common number for these over-unders here. Obviously, all starters will be playing. Dolphins with a chance with a win and a Denver loss.
They will maybe Tyreek Hill too is most likely out.
Yep, that's true. But Dolphins need this win. But Robbie, just because we are both Bengals boys in this podcast here, I can't believe my mouth is about to say this because this team is horrible. But I'm going to take the New York Jets to win.
One last time. You might have let me down with my Super Bowl pick and make me look like the biggest fucking retard in
Yeah.
America. But you are not going to make me look like a retard this time, because you know what the best victory is the one where you let your interdivision rivals out of the playoffs. The New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers' possible last game of his entire career will take down Snoop Huntley and the Miami Dolphins. And Zachary, the temperature is 35. It's just above cold. So the weather climate, but with where the stadium's located right next to that fucking big old Hudson River there, I think the Jets will win with the cold breeze. Jets, Jets.
Well. And that opens up a door for the Cincinnati Bengals. Robert, we have 2 more games to go over, and I'm just going to flow through this one here because these 2 teams are both eliminated from playoff contention. San Francisco 49ers heading into Arizona,
I think
the
Brock
desert.
Purdy's not playing neither. I think Brock Purdy's out.
Probably, okay, no Purdy, which would maybe explain the spread. Arizona Cardinals at home are a minus 4.5 point favorite. Over-under is 42.5. Robbie, just because this has been this type of year for the San Francisco 49ers, I am going to take the Arizona Cardinals to win this game reluctantly because they're both kind of shit teams in my opinion, especially this year. I mean, it feels weird calling San Francisco a shit team because it seems that they've been just like a Super Bowl favorite for what seems like the last 4 seasons in a row. And this has been them jumping off the side of a cliff here, Robbie. I'm going to take the Cardinals to win this game.
The week of the backups in the NFL: for the Chiefs, Carson Wentz; for the Rams, Jimmy G; for the Cowboys, Trey Lance; for the Eagles, Tanner McKee; Dolphins, Tyler Huntley, Snoop Huntley; Browns, Bailey Zappi; Jaguars, Mac Jones; Titans, Mason Rudolph; Giants, Drew Lock and or Tommy DeVito and or Tim Boyle; 49ers, could you guess who it is?
For the 49ers?
Yep. Took the fucking nation by storm last year.
Oh, Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs.
The alopecia nightmare.
Yes. But if it's Josh Dobbs versus Kyler Murray, it sounds like Kyler Murray's playing. I'm going to take the Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, Robbie, this leads us in to what could not be a more amazing game to finish off the 2024-2025 NFL season, Robert. Both of these teams sit at 14-2. Week 18 for first place in the NFC. First place bye for the top team heading in my opinion, to these playoffs. I know the Chiefs will have the best record, but my, oh my, this is going to be a game full of fireworks here, Robert. The Minnesota Vikings plus 2.5. The Detroit Lions minus 2.5. Detroit at home. You've heard me say a bunch of over-unders today, folks, and the high 30s. Excuse me. This over-under set at 56.5.
Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ, this one really jumped up on us here, Robert.
Holy fuck.
Robert, you listen to me and you listen to me good. The Minnesota Vikings are going to be the number 1 seed heading into this NFC for the playoffs. The Detroit Lions have too many injuries on defense. The Vikings defense, Brian Flores has been pulling schemes out of his ass all season long, and he will do it for one more game against this Detroit Lions team. And the Minnesota Vikings will shock the football world, Robert, and take over first place in the NFC, getting the first week bye in the playoffs. Detroit Lions will lose to the Vikings at home in Week 18.
Ladies and gentlemen, we knew the Lions were going to be here. But if you had told me prior to the J.J. McCarthy injury that Sam Darnold was going to be the starting quarterback for 18 weeks, 17, 18, 19, all these weeks of Sam Darnold, I would have said the Vikings might be below the Chicago Bears. Sam Darnold has proven the world wrong. Isn't that right, Stephen A. Smith, Zachary? Did you happen to hear what the stupid fuck said on ESPN?
I did not hear what that dumb retard said.
Here's what Stephen A.
Mark,
Smith.
I like it too, pal.
About Sam Darnold, and again, he deserves credit. We know he's had a stellar season, et cetera, et cetera. The man hasn't thrown for 300 yards since November 24th against Chicago. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, we acted like that. Let's not act like this is the second coming of Dan Marino, and we just see him flinging passes all over the place. You got Jefferson, you got Addison, and all of a sudden it's Ed Coryell now. It's Dan Fouts, it's Dan Marino with Mark Super Duper and Mark Clayton. I mean, what are we talking about here? I'm just saying, can we pump the brakes? Can we pump the brakes just a touch, Booger? Can we sit up there and at least have the mentality? Let's see. Everybody else got the show. How come he don't have to show it?
So Zachary, he said the last time he threw for over 300 yards.
Oh, no, I heard him.
November 24th, he threw for 330 passing yards. December 1st, he threw for 235. December 8th against the Falcons, he threw for 347 and 5 touchdowns. December 16th against Chicago, he had 231, a tutty, and an interception. Against the Seahawks, December 22nd, he had 246 and 3 touchdowns. And then just last week against the Packers, he had 377, 3 tutties, and an interception. So
yeah, Stephen
A.
A. Smith.
Last time he threw for 300 yards was in November. Stephen A., you were wrong.
It's a good thing you're getting paid a handsome amount of money to report
$20
on
million
sports,
to be
you
wrong.
dumb
It's
fuck.
$20 million, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
I don't care how much work they put in. He thinks he's entitled to the $20 million because how much work he's put in the past. You got to continue it on, pal. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyways, Sam Darnold versus Jared Goff. 2 guys that were giving up on their clubs. It's going to be Brian Flores versus Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell versus Kevin O'Connell. Who will prevail in Ford Field, inside of a dome, where the Lions have one of the most rowdy fan bases, but so do the Vikings? One thing's for certain, Zachary, the winner of this team, the home field advantage that they're going to have with their crowds, which are probably the best crowds in the NFC, right there with the Cowboys. You got to give the Cowboys the benefit of the doubt. They have the best crowd in football. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt. Those fans show up, even though they lose every single year. They show up and they're louder than anybody else. That's a fact. Zachary, the winner of this game between Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings versus Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions will be the Detroit Lions. I think that Ben Johnson has something up his sleeve. If you look the last 2 weeks, Amon-Ra hasn't been utilized a lot. It's been primarily Jameson Williams. I think he has something up his sleeve and plans for Amon-Ra St. Brown to really stick it down their throats, man.
Well, pause. We'll have to just wait and see what happens Sunday night. But, Robbie, what a fucking way to end off the regular season.
Good thing they made that the Sunday night game.
Now, Robbie, are you all right if we transition to a little bit of hockey and then a little bit of basketball, and then we'll send these folks on their way? Bam, bam, chicken and ham. All right, folks. Well, before I get into the NHL news here, just a quick World Junior Hockey update. As I mentioned before, Team USA took down Team Canada in the New Year's Classic, giving them first place in Division A and actually dropped Canada down to third place, Robbie, in Division A. So the quarterfinal matchups went as followed. Team USA, number 1 seed in first Group A, had to play Team Switzerland, fourth place in Group B. Team USA handles them easily 7-2, moving on to the semifinals to face the winner between us, or Canada, and Czechia tonight at 7:30. In the other quarterfinals here, Robert, Karlov, if you're still here, your Latvians made it a fucking game against Team Sweden. Team Sweden, the only undefeated team left in this tournament here, Robert, 4-0. Edge out Latvia 3-2 here in the semifinal. Latvia finishes fourth place in the Group A division. Even though Latvia did lose that game, Robbie, I'd count this tournament as a win for them. Even just having that close of a game with Sweden in the quarterfinals, it's got to be exciting for them. Sweden does move on. They will face the winner between Finland and Slovakia. Going down right now, Finland is up 4-1, so we can assume a Sweden-Finland semifinal. And then, like I just mentioned, Team USA awaiting Canada or Czechia tonight. Now let's get in. So you got something you want to say, Robert?
I said I love it.
Let's get into some NHL, Robbie, because I don't know if you're going to love this.
No, because my fantasy hockey team is fucking doomed now.
Austin Matthews Me and Robbie, we're Leaf guys. We love our Austin Matthews. You know, he's a superstar, great. He unfortunately came out here. Sorry, he didn't come out. He was asked if he feels like his back will be healed this season. And honestly, Robbie, I think maybe we're looking too much into this because I think he just answered this in like typical kind of Austin Matthews like fashion. Like that was just a stupid question. Because when he was asked if his back was going to be healthy this season, he said, "I don't know, we'll see." And then people kind of took that by storm, saying that now he's unsure if he's going to be healthy at all this season. I think this was kind of him just fucking around a little bit, Robbie, but it also is kind of getting a bit concerning because he is now missing games left, right, and center. And it's like there's no certainty. There's no like he's going to be out for this many weeks. It's just like it's a day by day, game by game, which to me those are the fucking worst injuries because you just really never know.
Right.
So keep your eye on that, folks. We hope to God that he is able to stick around, stick around and keep playing this year. But you know what? At this point, he's young. If you got to sit out for a while, sit out and get fucking healthy. If that does happen, please do the LTIR. Please do the LTIR and start signing some motherfuckers. And let's build a Stanley Cup team, okay?
Damn it.
Robert, speaking of IR.
Go to hell.
Well, speaking of IR, Robbie, if you think it's bad in Leafland right now, my oh my, is it bad in Rangerville? The New York Rangers placing Igor Shesterkin on IR now for an upper body ailment. Rangers have now lost 4 in a row, Robbie, and sit in last place in the Metropolitan Division. And do you want to know why they sit in last place in the Metro, Robbie?
Because they've lost like 4 or 5 in a row.
Do you want to know what the Rangers did last year when they won the President's Trophy?
Yes, I do want to know. What do they do?
They raised a banner at MSG saying regular season champions. They raised a banner to the rafters saying regular season champions after winning the President's Trophy last year, Robbie. If that isn't cuck behavior right there, I don't know what cuck behavior is. The Rangers are basically watching their wife get pile drove on a hotel bed while they're sitting in the corner jerking their little dick off. That's pretty much what the Rangers are doing to themselves this year, Robert.
They're a bunch of cucks.
Yes, indeed. So I mean, I'm not too sure that there's no news on the severity of this injury for Shesterkin, but signing that big contract and getting placed in the IR and playing the way you've been playing this year, oosh, not looking good, Robert. And then last bit of NHL news here. The Winter Classic did go down. St. Louis Blues against the Chicago Blackhawks. The Blues get the win in pretty deciding fashion. I think it was a 6-2 victory. The Blackhawks looked terrible playing at Wrigley Field. And then just to note, Robbie, Blues newly acquired defenseman from the Anaheim Ducks, Cam Fowler, became the first NHL player to suit up in his 1,000th NHL game in an outdoor game. I mean, it's not much of a stat, but it's worth reporting.
It's pretty cool history.
Yeah. Then, Robbie, that's it for the NHL, my man. Not too much going on.
Nice little Connor Bedard.
But pardon me?
I'm sorry, because there's such a lag on my end. It's my fault.
Oh.
Did you see Connor Bedard come out and like apologize on behalf of the organization regarding how the fans are spending all that money to watch him play so poorly?
And dude, honestly, I kind of like that he did that because it's one thing to go out and play like shit at a home game, but dude, those tickets are you pay $100 to the Blackhawks play. Those tickets are probably $350 for cheap ones. I mean, those are the games that you really want to come out and play a good hard game for your fans, and they just dropped a goose egg for 60 minutes out there.
Yeah. I hope they don't ruin too many years of this guy's career because he's going to be something special in the NHL.
There also was a pretty cool video I saw of Nick Foligno, the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks, and Braden Shen, the captain of the St. Louis Blues. They're kind of having like a friendly conversation before the game. They're just like, Nick Foligno skates up and goes, "Hey, they're asking us after the game if we want to take a picture because like we're the two captains." And they're like, "Yeah, man, no problem." Like being all buddy. Robbie, I think it was the second or third shift they faced each other in the game. They dropped the gloves and beat the absolute piss out of each other. So that's just right there what hockey is for you.
I fucking love it.
All right, Robbie, that is it for the NHL. We have a little bit of NBA news to go over.
I forgot to start Bobrovsky in our fucking league. God damn it.
103.
It's the NBA on the Sports Cave.
Suck my tits and lick my ass, baby. Yes, it is. It is the NBA on the Sports Cave, as my lovely friend there, Robert, just said here. And
That's
Robbie, we do have, unfortunately, to talk about this, Robbie. My Toronto Raptors on an 11-game skid snapped it last night. Who did we snap it against, folks? Why, we snapped it against Robert's Brooklyn Nets. This is a new look Brooklyn Nets. They've traded away a few pieces. But you got to be a bad team to lose to the Raptors. I will say that for free, Robert.
Well, I could tell you it wasn't looking good when they had both Ben Simmons and Claxton on at the same time because they had no shooting when they had both of them on. But the second they brought in D'Angelo Russell, he would make them rally all the way back. And obviously, he's coming off the bench. It's his first game with this new system compared to last time he was in Brooklyn. But I'm fine with the loss, obviously. I want Cooper Flag. D'Angelo Russell scares me because there's something about D'Angelo Russell when he's on the Brooklyn Nets, and he's just like fucking the second coming of Michael Jordan compared to like D'Angelo Russell with the Timberwolves and the Lakers. He's so much better on the Nets than he's ever been on the Lakers, the Timberwolves, or the Warriors, and that's scary for our draft purposes. So hopefully he does very good, but they lose a lot of games, and they could trade off Russell and Cam Johnson for a lot of picks. I still think D'Angelo Russell could benefit a lot of teams in the NBA, Zachary. D'Angelo Russell, when he has the ball in his hands, could create for himself and for others. And when you put him in a system like the Lakers, where it's dominantly LeBron and Anthony Davis and now Austin Reeves, he's not going to be a beneficial asset. So, asset, not accent, asset.
Oui.
So, what team do I think would be best fit for him when everybody's healthy? The Orlando Magic. D'Angelo Russell, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero. I think D'Angelo Russell to the Orlando Magic is a possibility, and I think it's something the Magic should explore. He's very selfless. He's not a selfish individual. He's now in his 10th year in the NBA. I think that the Magic should look at D'Angelo Russell in the upcoming weeks.
Well, maybe they're listening right now, Robbie, and they're starting to make a phone call.
They're definitely not listening now.
I can tell you, Robbie, who the Magic is not going to be looking at.
Who's that?
That is Mr. Jaden Ivey of the Detroit Pistons, Robbie. And that is because he had to be stretchered off the court yesterday in the fourth quarter against the Orlando Magic, funny enough. And they determined today, Robbie, he will be out for an extended period of time with a broken fibula. Tough news for him, too, because
out for the rest of the season.
Oh, for the rest of the season. And the guy was having a great year.
Yeah.
So
major
we wish you a speedy recovery here. Kind of looked like a bit of a nothing burger, if we're going to be honest with each other either. Like, it didn't look like it was a fibula snap play, but you see the stretcher get pulled out, Robbie, and obviously that's going to be it's going to set some pits down to your stomach here. Robbie, if we're going to keep this in the conversation of trades here, New Orleans Pelicans, I mean, their season can't get much worse. And they have now came out and said that their main priority is to move on from Mr. Brandon Ingram, which I guess leads me to my question here, Robert. What kind of a trade package would they be looking like for a guy of Brandon Ingram's caliber?
I don't know, but I'm going to skip over Brandon Ingram, Zachary, because I'm just going to say right now, they got to move on from Zion. They cannot hold on to Zion any longer because he just doesn't play for them. That's the guy that was supposed to be transcendent. He's supposed to be a face of the NBA, but the problem is if he's the face for the NBA, it's for their medical program because all he does is sit games. He spends more times on the bench than he does on the court.
Or their type 2 diabetes program.
Yeah.
That fat bastard.
The only places these are teams that I think should make an effort for Zion. San Antonio, Wemby and Zion and Chris Paul be fucking insane. And they're a first-class organization, and they're not going to put up with his shit. The Miami Heat, same thing. First-class organization ain't going to put up with his shit. The Brooklyn Nets. Wow, Robbie, you sound really biased there. If you listen to players like Ben Simmons and Kevin Durant who have dealt with catastrophic injuries, they have the best health program in the NBA, and they take care of their superstars. Those are the Nets have all the draft capital because the Pelicans are going to be looking for draft capital. It's a new rebuild again. It's a new rebuild once again. And I'll tell you, dude, I would love to see Zion in Brooklyn if healthy. But I think the best fit for him out of all those teams would be the San Antonio Spurs.
That'd be a fucking pretty lethal combo right there.
Yeah.
Well,
but Brandon Ingram, I think he was an all-star last year, 2 years ago. I mean, he's a very good player. he's a third option. So what team could benefit with him as a third option? Would he go back to Lakers? I mean, I think the Lakers.
Warriors.
Warriors, I think, will be a good fit for him, but I don't see him as their second scorer because the Warriors need somebody that could shoot the three ball really well. And the only person that comes to my mind that's going to be available like that is Zach LaVine. And I think Zach LaVine would thrive in Golden State compared to Chicago.
I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that they could maybe bring both those guys in either.
No, I think you're right. Another one, the Clippers. When fucking Kawhi is out, Brandon Ingram's there. They need that third guy. That's another viable team. Again, Miami. Again. I think it's clear Miami's going to move on from Jimmy Butler. Did you see some of the shots he was taking against the Jazz?
Yeah, he's checked out, Robert.
Can you blame him?
Checked out. I think I would love to see it. I want to see a big trade here, man.
I was on Jimmy Butler's side the second Pat Riley said Jimmy needs to shut up. That's when I learned to be on Jimmy Butler's side. After everything, that guy's literally single-handedly carried your team into the finals twice. One of them with an injury.
We ride with Jimmy Butler on this show.
Yeah, dude. Or maybe even the Pistons. I mean, the Pistons are looking pretty solid this year.
Now, Robbie, these next two teams, I'd like to ask you a question about here. Do you think maybe these two teams are looking for a big trade? We have the New York Knicks, who've made many moves in the last calendar year. They have now won 9 games in a row, moving up in the stands in the Eastern Conference. And then if we're moving to the West, the OKC Thunder have now won 12 in a row. Do we see any – I think maybe OKC has more of a chance of making a big splash here, a big splash trade than the Knicks just because of how much draft capital the Knicks have traded away in the last calendar year. But, I mean, I guess more so OKC. Well, let's just disregard the Knicks. I don't think they have the space or the assets to make a big move like that. OKC is the team that enticed me, though, Robert. Do you think that this is – I think I asked this last week, too, but this will be a common theme of me. I think OKC is poised to make a big trade this year, Robbie, and really go all in for their first ever NBA title.
But what does OKC really need? I feel like they have all bases covered.
You know what? They really do. But it's
outside
like
of maybe a backup center, but you're not going to give up draft picks for a backup center.
Now, I guess if you're looking at the starting rotation, their starting lineup, there's really no one you would replace with.
Maybe they, again, I sound like a fucking broken fucking record here. Maybe they call it Brooklyn because Brooklyn has Claxton. They have Day'Ron Sharpe, who are both pretty decent big men to come off the bench. If it would be one of the two, probably be Day'Ron Sharpe because his contract is nowhere close to Claxton. Claxton, I think, is making $24-25 million a year.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty expensive
and
backup.
if there's an injury to Chet Holmgren, I mean, Claxton could play the 4
now
more than Day'Ron Sharpe could.
Don't they have Hartenstein too, or did he?
Hartenstein, yeah, but like Jalen Williams is good, but they need that big guy off the bench is what I'm trying to allude to here. Like they don't have a guy off the bench because Hartenstein is going to be starting when Chet Holmgren comes back.
Yeah, I guess a backup center would be a pretty crucial pick for them. I mean,
I mean, the Knicks.
You think they'd want Jakob Poeltl?
Well, Mitchell Robinson's supposed to be coming back soon, so.
No, I meant OKC.
OKC? No.
They don't want him?
No. I don't think anybody on your team is going to be going away.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Jakob Poeltl did pretty good yesterday against Brooklyn Nets.
I fucking hate that. Why does he want to do good now?
You wanted him when the trade happened fucking last year, 2 years ago.
I don't think I did.
I think you did. I think you were a little excited because he averaged like 2.5 blocks per game.
I already had to deal with that retard for a few years.
You've dropped retard at least 4 times this episode.
Guess what? It's 2025. It's a new year, new Zach.
No, it's the same Zach.
Just more retarded.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I want to look through the standings. You know, a lot of times, we always go through the NHL standings. Let's go through the NBA standings. Let's see here. Well, the Cavs are on an 8-game winning streak. They can't stop winning. I can't stop winning. The Knicks are on a 9-game winning streak, as you alluded to. They can't stop winning. The Thunder are on a 12-game winning streak, as you alluded to. They can't stop winning. The Pelicans are on an 11-game losing streak. The Hornets are on an 8-game losing streak. The Nets are on a 3-game losing streak. And the Jazz are on a 5-game losing streak. And the Suns are on a 3-game losing streak. They're on 11th right now. They're 15-17. Ooh.
Yeah, the Suns have. I think it was Devin Booker even came out and was basically giving their whole team flack. Which if you have a team that consists of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, that's That record needs to be better. And then throw Bradley Beal in there too. That I know he's an old Bradley Beal. Don't get me wrong, but
Bradley Beal was never going to fit in. I hated that trade from the start.
that record has to be better though.
They got to move on from Bradley Beal. They have to. Because it's either Bradley Beal or Kevin Durant. I'd rather keep Kevin Durant than Bradley Beal.
Yeah. Speaking of moving on, Notre Dame is 3 minutes away from moving on, Robert. 23-10, and they have taken full control of this game.
Damn, and you know what? That fucking redshirt sophomore with the 15-yard penalty is going to be a walking meme, and he is going to get death threats by crazy Georgia fans.
Yep.
How unfortunate. You know, we talk about how bad the Miami Heat need to move on from Jimmy Butler. They're 6 right now with a 17-14 record, but it just doesn't feel – it just feels like it ran its course.
It's done.
Yeah. The Sixers are 13-18.
They've made a big turnaround.
Yeah, as we were just waiting on. We knew they were going to be in the top 10 at some point. Looks like they're going to knock out the Bulls temporarily. I hope Zion gets another chance somewhere else, dude. The Magic, I don't know how they managed to stay in fourth with all the injuries. Kudos to them. Yeah. Well, Zach, we're a couple minutes away till the puck drops.
Yeah.
In Canada. So I'll tell you what. Folks, back to our regular schedule. We're back here Tuesday at 6:30, Thursday at 6:30 until the Super Bowl comes. Then we're back to our Tuesdays only. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and joining us for an early edition of the Sports Cave. Please make sure to share the podcast to your friends. And let's take this motherfucker to the moon because we haven't even left planet Earth yet. We're not even 2 feet off the ground. Zachary. Cheers, Mark. Thank you. Zachary, take us on out of here, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here tonight. What a goddamn episode. Let's go, Canada. I hope we get to see you fuckers again in the semifinals, Robert. And everybody, you know what my next line is. For the first time in 2025, folks, stay sexy, Sports Cave.